happened on our little Tina Speak show is that one of my mentors, one of my favorite people in the world, Les Brown, came into the studio. Now, this is actually a two-part thing. The first time, I spoke to him on the phone and he said, "Why aren't I on your television show, or why aren't I on your radio show? What is your issue? Do you not love me?" And I said, "Yes, I do. Be on my show today, except this is going to be a virtual show, so it's radio." He didn't hear that part. So as I'm talking to him on the radio, I hear all this noise in the background, right? And he shows up in the studio and takes my mic. It was a Les Brown moment. But let me give you the backstory. Les Brown was the reason why I got into owning my own business and having a global vision. I remember being sort of a housewife and a minister's wife and really not knowing what my options were going to be when it comes to really helping people. We really tried to do outreaches and work with the kids in the community. And one day a friend of mine gives me a tape, and the tape, I'm listening to this tape from this guy named Les Brown, and he said, "You got to be hungry." That thing changed my game. I said, you know what? It's okay to be hungry for the passion and for the vision. That began me in the coaching conversation, wanting to distribute hope all around the world. It was because of Les Brown. Now, fast forward a few years ahead, when I had a wonderful client named George Frazier of FrazierNet.com, and I'm sitting in a suite with Les and George and Veronica Conway. We're having this great conversation, and Les said, "You need to be on radio." I'm like, "Why?" Just talking? I mean, I've done DJing and stuff. Just talking, I could listen to you all day long. Before you knew it, I was on radio doing shows all over the country and via internet, which I love because it's global. And then I own my own radio network called Drama Free Radio. Then I see him again. "You need to be on television." I'm like, "Oh, come on, I don't need to be on television. I don't want to do television." That was all Les Brown. Now, I wouldn't call it necessarily television in the traditional sense, but we are telling a vision every day and how people can do extraordinary things. Let's fast forward to maybe last year. I get a phone call, and I find out that Les Brown is not feeling well. And all I could do is say a prayer, because I know that that man has made such an impact on my life, even appearing on my internet radio shows for me, encouraging me and empowering me to continue to do what I'm doing. I didn't know how I was going to get to him. I didn't know if I could get to him. His number changed a lot, understandably, when you're such a phenomenal celebrity. But I didn't know it was going to happen. So I'm in New York. I'm shooting some footage for another show, and I hear that I have to talk to Les Brown. Didn't even know where he was going to be. Then I get a phone call, "Why don't you come to Dallas and speak at a conference?" I didn't want to do that. I was supposed to go to Louisiana. I wasn't feeling that well. I personally was having some personal challenges with my own health. I ended up staying at my girlfriend's house for a long time, longer in New York, and couldn't go to Louisiana because I wasn't feeling that hot. Then it felt completely well when I decided to go to Dallas. Go figure. I get to Dallas, and at the time that I got there, Les Brown shows up into that hotel. I couldn't believe it. I give him a phone call, and I said, "I'll see you in the green room." We go into the green room. I'm sitting down talking to him, and I'm looking at this man who is my mentor, virtual mentor, my Uncle Les, my predecessor in empowerment. I love him. And I said, "I want to pray with you and do a meditation." We prayed, we did a meditation, and then that was it. I haven't seen him since then. Now, back to the phone call. He comes into the studio during the radio show, and I said, "What are you doing here? I told you I was going to be in Arizona." And he says, "I had something to tell you." I said, "What is it that you want to tell me, Uncle Les?" He said, "I'm debt-free, I'm drama-free," referring to my old platform, "and I'm cancer-free." Do you know how exciting that was to me? And so I called him back after the show. I was in tears, and I said, "You have to come live. You have to come into the studio." And he did. He came in, and we had this wonderful discussion. Being across the table from Les Brown in an interview format and watching him just really just be buck naked, candid with me, and realizing that the reason why I'm here doing what I'm doing is because of him, it was phenomenal. It was like a punctuation on my career and on my life at that time that really it now begins. Les Brown is an incredible asset to the universe and to society and community. And I was just blessed to be able to be in the same room. The man who's always interviewing people was interviewed by me that day. And we had a good time. And he brought Tina Lewis and met a few other people because of him, like Sean Arnold, Esquire. But I was happy for him to be here. And he's always welcome here, by the way. Always welcome in our studio. It was a great interview. That's all I can say. hello. And in case you missed it, that's Lindsay. Lindsay has you moving. And don't forget to catch her at Seabird Jazz Lounge, October 5th. She has 2 groups, and she's just fire. But right now, we are transitioning to this young lady. When I heard her voice, my mouth just opened. Doreen, thank you so much for the referral of the beautiful Bernice. She's about to sing for us 2 songs. The chat rooms are probably going to go crazy already because, the other day, it was definitely going crazy. Just who are these people? Where did you find them? I'm being referred to them by people in social media and inviting them down to be heard live. And she came to our Women's Rock private taping, Women That Rock private taping at the Seabird Jazz Lounge, where we recorded her privately. And we'll probably be showing that footage sometime next week. And these women, they impressed me and they touched my soul. So without further ado, here is the beautiful Bernice. She's 19 years old and has so much soul, like she's been here forever. She's on now.
You say that you love me, you say that you need me, so why haven't you made your move? 'Cause I have counted all those times you stared at me with those brown eyes. You just said that like a cute little fool. So come on, next to me, together we can be. We wanna be, you're the only thing that's been on my mind. So come on, baby, tell me how you feel, tell me, 'cause I've been going crazy for you. Crazy over you. I want you outside of my window, tossing pebbles, screaming, I'm in love with you. I want you standing in my front porch, singing that song that I adore, 'cause I like you, baby, I like you. See, I know you talk about me to your friends, just letting you know if you don't know, yeah, you're obvious. I'm just saying. Look, I have a list of all these guys who fight in their armor to be by my side, but then all I want is you. Quiero afuera de mi ventana, lanzando flores, gritando de ti me enamoré. Quiero enfrente de mi patio, cantándome mi canción. I like you, baby, I like you. Why don't you just come over here, take me away? Out of all these pointless girls, watch, I'll be the one to stay. All those other girls are beautiful, but when they write a song for you, why can't you be outside of my window, tossing pebbles, screaming, I'm in love with you. I wanna look out my window frame to see a smile on your face, 'cause I like you, baby, I like you. So you say that you love me, and you say that you need me, baby. I'm just waiting for you.
Absolutely beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Now we know why she's the independent artist of 2013. And I just fell absolutely in love with her. Our web mistress, Doreen H. Wong, who's managing the Google Hangout and everything else and posting everywhere, said, you have to have Bernice on. And I'm so glad I paid attention immediately. Before we jump into your next song, I want to introduce to everyone, well, some people, everyone knows Eric Zuli, right? The Hollywood It Guy. Thank you for being here, my love. And we have his bottle here. No, this is not booze. This is alkaline water 7.9. And one of the sponsors here at RMC. So welcome. Thank you for being here for the 30 minutes that you have to spare because you're just so incredibly busy. He actually is. And Monica walked in too, just that we can't see her. I'm going to bribe her, though, with the footage from karaoke last night. And we have some new people sitting down. Sonia, tell people who you are.
Good afternoon. My name is Sonia Trammell Jones, and I am an equal employment opportunity specialist that assures hiring of minorities, women, and people with disabilities into the federal government, specifically for the Army Corps of Engineers, Los Angeles District.
And she is absolutely fabulous at what she does. She's actually one of the people that Dakar Foundation identified would be a natural partner into some of the stuff that we do at Compton High School. And you guys are already doing the work, trying to get these kids employable, on top of their game. And one thing you said the last time when you were wearing a big red floppy hat in May, when I saw you, what you said really, really hit me, that if we don't help kids to get more aligned with science and math, that we'll be outsourcing Homeland Security.
Yes, we will.
That scared me. That really scared me.
We are on the verge of that right now. We contract over 87% of our work in the Army Corps of Engineers as we speak. So the next step for the federal government, as you see with sequestration and all of the budget things that Congress is just not supporting our president with, budgets will be shut down, agencies will be shut down for a little bit of time till they figure it all out. And the next step is hiring other people to do the work that we have folks here capable to do.
Nation.
Yes.
That's really scary.
Security of our
That's
nation.
very, very scary.
Trusted to folks that we unfortunately have incidents like we did last Monday in D.C. at the Navy Yard. Federal contractor walked onto the facility and
That was hard.
targeted just random folks.
Yes, we have my CMO, David Camara, who's around here somewhere. We call him Chief David. He actually was volunteering for nonprofit organizations there, trying to do some intervention. And it was not an easy situation at all. It was not very easy. So, but thank you for being here. You're one of our partners yesterday at Compton for Compton Creek, Saving Compton Creek, as well as our social garage with the Indy 500. And then, boy, we had a serious grand finale, and Kevin Clark is not on mic right now. But if you can just grab somebody's mic and tell them about the grand finale yesterday, and then we can introduce our next guest, and it will all make sense, and we'll be all accounted for.
Well, it was absolutely magic. The Upfest folks, as well as Mr. Muhammad, they came with Tina with a message that really shut down the whole notion that we needed to have a discussion. They brought everything that we could not have imagined to the auditorium, to the kids, and to everybody in the production. So it was one of the few moments where I absolutely just stopped, and I want to see if we can duplicate that energy so that we can continue to figure out what we can do to get students activated and to be part of what these people are going to be talking about is really going to be important. So all I can tell you is that it was TV magic. We have it archived, socialmediaweek.org. Indy comes to Compton. So if you want to see it, that's where you can go to see the live stream. The live stream archives for it. So it was a fantastic, again, 2 hours, but the last 10 or 15 minutes was just magic. So thank you guys again, and
Tell
I'm
them
blessed.
your favorite part.
Oh, no, I can't do that. I mean, it was, I'm literally, I lost my voice. I can honestly tell you right now, when I get a chance to look at the whole 6 hours of programming, there were many moments, but the one where we had the countdown about 2 minutes before we went off air, we were passing the mic around, and everybody, again, just right on time, just was able to give a sound bite that just closed it out. So that's what my favorite part was, the ending of the show.
Well, thank you for inviting us there. We had a wonderful time, and you're the reason why we participated in general in Social Media Week.
I just hope I'm the catalyst.
You were more than a catalyst. You actually pushed the boulder uphill and made sure it happened. I think I loved everything that happened during the programming yesterday, but I think watching the kids engage with why their science makes sense, that got me so excited. When those lowriders started bouncing and the kids are like, whoa, that was so hot. So we have two people of the UpFest organization that are here with us. And why don't you guys introduce? I know Mystery and my brother's over there. Introduce yourselves and tell them what part. You actually represent the cars, she represents the bikes. So,
Well, I'm Mystery. I'm the road captain for the United in Peace organization.
well, the road captain, explain what that means, because you say it so lightly. When everyone comes out, right, full color, how many vehicles are actually out there on behalf of the kids?
Wow. When
United in Peace.
everyone comes out, I could have as many as 1,500 bikes. I can have as many as, I want to say about 800 lowriders. And then whatever car clubs, the Corvette Club, the Mustang Club, the Honda Club, Truck Club, the various clubs that come with that.
That's amazing. So she controls that. She's the road captain. She decides who can ride and who cannot ride. What do you think about that?
You're a good friend to have.
yeah. She's got it on lock. And my brother, introduce yourself.
My name is Andre Pearson. They call me Big Dre. I'm
Big
the
Dre.
vice president of the National Lowrider Association, longtime member of the Individuals Car Club. I'm very heavily involved in UpFest also.
Yes, I met you guys all because of our education evangelist, Dr. Copeland. We
Yes.
brought you all in the same room, and we decided to do something. And then this opportunity came up, and we bought those cars to see those kids. You should have seen their faces, Eric. It was crazy.
Anything to support kids.
I mean, the cars were tilting like this. I mean, they were like this, and the kids are, whoa!
That's
They're like
cool.
freaking out. And then the drivers are like, this is what happens under the hood. This is the science. These are hydraulics.
No, we were just hanging out with Jennifer Irene, who was the cover of Lowrider magazine.
Really?
Yeah, last night with Sam Sarpong and the whole.
Oh,
You know.
Sam. He should be here today. But yeah, this is what happened yesterday at Compton. And then we finished, of course, with social karaoke. Socioki. So I want to thank you guys all for being here. We're going to hear one more song from our beautiful, beautiful young lady. But this is after a quick break. And then we will get back to our live musical treat with Bernice. We're taking a quick break now. We'll be back here on Dina Speaks. We are back. This is Tina Michelle of Tina Speaks, and this is Social Media Week Grand Finale 2013. And I'm so happy to do the countdown. We have like an hour left. I can't believe it. I'm so shocked. When we first started this thing on Monday, and Vince is here. Vince is here representing Social Media Week International. Thank you
Hi,
for
Vincent.
being here.
Hi.
I'm
And I
really
have again a feeling that Tina, before the break, she represented the Compton School and the students to see that car and under the hood. She's engaging. I think she's fundamentally so strong in her messaging. And I over and over feel, I was supposed to be here for just 30 minutes, and this is my second hour. I personally felt that she has an engagement model which can impact a human life. And she starts by doing simple things, by representing kids to the car. Start talking about it. She's a starting of a conversation. I think she can build fundamentally leadership teams. And she's really inspired me for the first ever time I've been here.
wow. Thank you.
So again, I come back to the same engagement model, and there's a true representation of really good skills, how you can communicate that message, not by just branding, but being a value-driven messenger. And that's what you are, in my
I
feeling.
think good branding has to do with the representation of that simple identity.
Exactly.
If it becomes complicated, you go, what are you about? What are you about? What are you about? And that's really what happens in life, right? You meet someone and you're trying to figure out, where are you coming from? And gosh, you're convoluted. And please leave me alone. I mean, that's really what happens when it's too many things, right? Unless it's on your plate, then it can be a little more complex. But anything other than that, no. So I think, thank you, first of all, for saying that, because that's the only thing I want to do is be able to communicate hope and resources from here to outer Mongolia. That is my life hope, right? And I'm very serious about it. That's not light. The minute that it's about anything else for me, I'm done. I mean that. So having this collective, and that's really what you're seeing. I'm only the mouthpiece, I'm the one talking, but you're seeing a collective of organizations and companies, private and public and nonprofit, that are committed to the one life.
Yes.
If we can come together for the one life and catch them where they are. I mean, this guy is the king of the red carpet. He is. So we catch him on the red carpet, we bring him into another flow, we get the resources, we get them help. The kid is seeing, Easy can do this, I can do this. You know, this is hot. I want to be there with Sam Sarpong. I want to be there at the movie premiere. I want to be there at the nonprofit organization philanthropy event. I can do that. They see him. Now we can get them into a system where the whole food chain is here, right? We've got the production element, we have distribution, we have it all in one space. They can have their message heard. Oh yeah, we have to keep showing this because people don't believe it.
Well, you
but
said food, so I'm a little hungry.
do you know I
I'm
had the
gonna grab
first mention of Roscoe's at Home? It's first mention.
I couldn't believe it
Roscoe's
when
at
I
Home.
walked into Ralph's.
It's in
and I
their
saw it.
grocery.
I
Yeah,
saw it.
it's in the grocery store.
accurate.
And it's important to me because you look at Roscoe's Chicken Waffles, to some people, oh, that's promoting a brand that's very capitalist. Do you understand that we are here because of these brands? Paying for the time, paying for the space, paying for the efforts, because these brands have made a commitment for our sound bites to move freely, and we can inspire one person doing something different. That can change the game for a whole community. I know a family, a community, a country, then the world. So
And
thank you for being here.
And I want to publicly commit to your vision,
Oh, thank you.
time, energy, resources, mentorship.
Thank you.
And to everybody, I didn't know Tina, I didn't Google her, who she was. I just feel it, what she says it. And I believe in that because you can change a future if whatever the past was. So I have learned in a hard way to live in the present moment and enjoy that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's
And
what I'm
you're
doing
now-
and demonstrating. And again, my second time commitment to you to envision and support your vision.
And that's like having the whole world committed, right? Social media.
Because you have a process in
huge.
place. You have a vision, but you also have a process. And you love your journey. That's what I felt.
It's all a journey. And, I think Oprah Winfrey changed my life when it came to broadcast media a long time ago. I used to do Tier 1 radio, and I was, hi, this is Tina Michelle, how you doing? I'm on WFAS, coming at you. Blah, blah, blah. I did Tier 1 radio, New York. And then I saw this piece of media made by her and Bob Green, Make the Connection. She did this piece of media and she opened it and it was the same field of purple as the color purple, and she literally gets on the camera and goes, talking about food, she goes, when I was a little girl I was raised in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, and my grandmother used to cook a green bean until it couldn't stand anymore. I believed her. And I was like, wow. we need to be believable, not believed in, because believed in is potential. Believe is now. So that people who are listening to us can relate to us and say, me too. That's all we got to do. If a kid can just say, me too, I can do that too. You know, so we have people in this room have gone through a process and their lives prove it. They prove it. My life wasn't completely easy. It wasn't always without, well, it is now because I'm doing TV the easy way. It wasn't completely without resistance, but that resistance, and I call it drag. I try to explain to kids, why can't it be easier? Well, you know, if you had a plane and it didn't have drag, didn't have thrust, right? You have to have drag, right? If you don't have drag, it's going to keep going up, up, up in the atmosphere and it's going to burn. Thrust sort of moves it ahead. Lift makes it stay high. You've got these three elements working all together to make that mechanism do what it's supposed to do. Without that, you're going to have a faulty system at some point.
And you have to have interaction through social media.
That's right. You need to be tweeting the whole time. But see, that drag, that's the pain. That's the confusion. That's the figuring out your identity. You need that. Not because you need to stay there. You know, my commitment is not to just go through things, but to grow through things. You know? And then when I'm doing that on camera in front of people, I don't have to be the expert. I'm a forever student. I'm learning from Eric. I'm learning from Mystery. I'm learning from you guys in the room. All I get to do is process it and speak it. Process it and speak it so that other people can actually be exposed to solutions that look like them.
Now, when you call about interaction, I feel so powerful that you don't know the real meaning of interaction. You appreciated your parents. They gave you a space. You are giving the same space to your kids to grow them and just monitor them, and you're doing good for society. I would say these are the three key pillars to first give somebody who took effort to bring you in this world, and then the society. So you're doing this whole circle because, again, your children are also part of that community.
And they love to do
and you do this interaction not just in silo waves. And I felt in last 60 minutes that you have this complete circle and energy, and it is happening.
It's happening, and it makes me excited. That's why these guys are here, right? They're all here because of that. Up Fast, I'm telling you, when we had Minister Muhammad representing Up Fast, and also people know him as he's a captain of the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
He's a powerful, positive brand in community who's not saying stop the violence, he's saying start hope.
He always says
Start
that.
hoping.
He always says that. He says, we're not here to stop anything. We're here to start something. We're here to start a peaceful movement. We're here to start you talking to your neighbors and someone who lives in an area that you normally don't go into or wears a different color than you. We're here to start that. We're here to start you speaking, start you loving, start communicating. Start it.
I love it. Start something.
Start it.
Right? Can we play the Michael Jackson song? You always started something. I mean, I love that because I always felt that way when I was a kid. You know, I always felt like that we need to be doing something else. We need to be doing something else. When I was 5 years old, I remember my grandfather was like 6'5", and I was very petite, and I watched Jerry's Kids. Again, I think I'm dating myself again. The Jerry Lewis Talk. I watched Jerry's Kids, and I remember looking at the kids. They couldn't play outside. Very simplistic. I'm a child. This is how it landed in my heart. Why would God allow for that child to be broken? That's all I can think of. I cried, and I refused to eat. My big granddaddy comes into my closet with his knees up in his chest and said, maybe God is calling you to fix that or take care of them. I'm a little girl. And then my next memory of vision and purpose was I had a dream. Remember the picture book of Dr. Martin Luther King? And I remember going through the pictures and seeing him and then seeing him shot and then seeing Bernice King's face as they buried her dad. And thinking to myself, her dad is dead. That's all. With all of that I saw, all the vision, all the mission, all the stuff, all I saw is that little girl's daddy's dead. Because I was a little girl. That was my perspective. Then when I started to read more about him, the only thing I saw was that little boys and girls of every color will play together. That's what I saw. That was my perspective. I was a child. As I became more sophisticated, do you know that's the only thing that still makes sense to me?
Because it's the only thing that matters.
It's the only thing that matters. She lost her dad for this vision. So what I kept saying to myself, especially in the community of Africans in America, as I call them, and I call us, 300 years of slavery. 40 years of legalized participation in society. What is the evolution of that conversation is the race of humans.
Yes.
That's what Dr. Martin Luther King was actually saying, that we are all colored the same color as dirt. Different shades of sand and dirt, right? You can be from the Tar Heels of North Carolina, you can be from the white, beautiful sands of Aruba, but we're all different shades of dirt. We're all terrestrial beings. We're hummus men. That's what human man, made from hummus or dirt.
I want to be sand.
You want to be sand? Well, you are sand.
I don't want to be dirt.
You need a little more
It's kinda
color.
the same.
Sorry, you need a little more color.
Works.
But it's a beautiful thing when you realize that we're connected by breath. If I remember, it's the same breath that Jesus breathed, that Buddha breathed, the dinosaurs breathed, my friend breathes, my mama breathes, my daddy breathes. It's the same air. It recycles over and over and over again. We have that same breath going through our lungs, and we can inspire others. Makes it simple. I'm not responsible for it, but I'm able to respond based on what I have. That's it. Makes it very simple. So I love the work that we do. I love the work that we've done for this week, and we've had a lot of fun too. Make no mistake, you need a balance of fun. I don't like fun suckers at all. I will kick you out of the room if you're a fun sucker.
I totally see why they call you Tina Speaks.
Because I keep
why your
speaking and
show's
speaking
called-
and speaking and speaking. and
No, but
speaking.
you speak so well. and
Well,
it
thank
just
you. My
draws
mother
you-
prayed that someone, she used to call me Tongue Everlasting, Mouth Almighty. She said, hopefully one day you'll get paid for that. And I'm like, actually, I get paid every day. You know, she's gone now, so I do this in her memory. I get paid every day just to watch someone laugh or smile, right? Or have the fun that I'm talking about. And fun is fabulous, unique, and in your now. If you're not fabulous, you're not unique, you're not in your now, then you're sucking the fun out of the space because you're trying to be something that you're not.
Hey.
So I have this idea about the kids and interacting with social media, and I thought of making a moment called 8, 13, and 18.
Okay.
What that means is when somebody is at 8, what he or she should be doing for the next 5 years when they go from a middle school, so producing that innovative social leader. And I feel that your phase of life has, interacted when you grew up, and this whole curve of elevation and upliftment. And I think if I can work with you on a moment called 8, when somebody's at 8, at 13, and 18, because the 13 and 14 is a transition time when you can have a very social doer who can impact.
And they can get frustrated at that age. A lot of the kids, I am a coach and I was a crisis counselor.
No, because I feel you're an
before that.
enabler.
They get
So you-
frustrated
yeah.
if you don't give them something to do
Right.
with that desire and passion and say, wait till you're
Yeah.
older, or
Yeah.
way older. They get frustrated and then you start hearing, no one gets me, no one understands me, then I'm depressed and da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. If you empower them to do it now, just try. Just try. This is, my mother said to me when I was younger, and I always refer to my mother because I am the culmination of several generations of wisdom, not me, right? I'm my community, I'm my mother, I'm my friends and my family, averaged, right? And that's what comes out of my mouth. And sometimes it's probably the wrong group of people that may come out of my mouth if I'm too sleepy. But she used to say to me when I was younger, do it before you're 18.
Exactly.
Because I had no children and no responsibility, right? So I graduated from high school when I was 16, and I got a Euro pass during the summer when I was 16. I went to Paris, I went to Levenkruis, and I went to Beaumont-Simier, and I went to all these different places. No language, just a bunch of kids that were part of the extension programs that I was part of, and I was blessed to be there because of the NAACP, because of the National Urban League, because of the community organizations that invested in me and saw that there was something else other than just this child, the statistic, young black girl raised by a single parent mom in a single parent household, father abandoned. They saw me as an individual.
Yes.
And because of that, I'm committed to see individuals. I want to see you. I want to see you for who you are and what you did. I think you said the last time you were here, Big Dre, you said, I paid my debt to society, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said you did some things, you had to do some time, and I said, you just got caught publicly, that's all. Folk don't get caught for the crap that no one sees.
Exactly.
And that's just the truth. And I appreciate that your honesty, but we all were something
Exactly.
to some degree, and we have a opportunity to decide what's next.
And that's
Every
really
moment.
why I changed. That's really why I went with the National Lowrider Association, because with that, we do a lot of things with the kids, and everybody has a past, like you said. We ex-gang bangers, gang affiliates, whatever the case may be. But what we do is we show the kids that if you work hard, you go to school hard, you work hard, these are some of the cultural lifestyles and hobbies that you can have. And that's why I love that the kids are so enthused with the cars, and I never hide my past because a lot of the times certain people can't talk to certain young individuals. So with my past, I just tell them and let them know that I've been there and done what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And this is what came out of it. 13 years of my life gone from my mother, my kids, my grandmother, everything. And you see a lot of deaths in 13 years.
Yeah, you can see a lot of things in 13 years.
So, once we get the individuals like him, we should start engaging and their life stories to demonstrate in schools. Because there's no story which is real, comes from the heart, right? What you just demonstrated,
Believe,
right?
just
And-
believe, not just believe in
Exactly.
possibility, but believe in now.
Right. We have platforms available, and platform is the most important resource to fly. See, when you go to airport, you have a secure platform. So we have the social platforms available. With your energy, with his stories, if we channelize, collaborate with schools, get to the segment of age groups, and get some end results and outcomes at age 8, and make them natural ambassadors.
Yep.
And when they transition to the next phase, I think they will change other people's life.
That's
and that's
right.
a life-changing event.
That's right. What do you think about that, Eric?
I think I agree 100%, and I think it's really cool that
See, we're already partners, right?
Yeah.
So everything I do, they're involved in, and it makes it really awesome because at one point we were sort of pushing this rock uphill, like I talked to Kevin about alone, and we get to sort of bounce things off of each other and go, we want to tackle this project, we want to do this, what do we want to do? And respect and honor each other from a communication and protocol execution standpoint and just get it done.
well, the kids are the next generation, and without the right guidance to the next generation, what's our generation going to turn into?
Yeah, and they just need to know that we care, we see them,
Yes.
we're here for them. You know, you dropped off a card, and I'm looking at it, and tell me about this.
Well,
Mia Chapman.
Mia Chapman was one of our little angels. We call her our mascot. We call all of us call her our daughter, our niece, our cousin. Well, she died in a tragic accident last Sunday. A car jumped into gear while moving to get put on a trailer. It was a show car, exhibitionist, and it was just a tragic freak accident that the car jumped in gear, and she died behind it.
Oh,
So, we're doing we have a car wash tomorrow.
okay.
We're raising money, and we have a car wash tomorrow in Gardena, right on the corner of 135th and Figueroa. And we're washing motorcycles, cars. All the Upfest staff will be there. All the lowrider clubs, a few of the bike clubs. I got confirmation from the bike clubs that they're going to be there. And what we're doing is we're just washing cars in her name and raising money for her burial and everything. We want to thank the game and Nick Cannon for their donations, and everybody else across the world. We have. I mean, this young lady right here touched a lot of people across the world, because if you look at her page, you can go on the Mia Chapman Fund and see pictures. You'll see her actually turning wrenches at 5, 6 years old, working on people's cars, with her dad, which is a very good young man, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I was just, like I said, we get to the kids in the National Lowrider Association, we get to the kids pretty young and give them, work on this car, make this your hobby. Because sometimes it takes us 5 or 10 years to build a car. And a person like her starts when she's 7. She could be the next, Jeff Gordon or whatever she chooses to be in the auto industry. Like the guy that was at Compton High with us yesterday.
Yeah, Joe Ellis.
Joe Ellis, exactly.
Joe Ellis is awesome. He's an amazing, we're going to have him on, but he's an amazing technician when it comes to cars and building cars. And what he's doing with the kids and bringing the kids into the actual garage and teaching them the electrical part, right? The wiring and all the other stuff and building the cars. That's awesome.
He's awesome. He's an awesome
He
gentleman.
came and sang karaoke. No, he didn't sing. He came and watched us sing karaoke last night. He said, I never go out. I always work. I'm like,
just
get
finna
over
say that
yourself.
this guy never-
Stop being a fun sucker. Come out and play. And he did. He came out and played, right? He played with us last night.
Well, Tina, I'm sorry, but as you said, I have to go in a half an
know,
hour.
I
And
know.
I before I go, I want to say, hey, man, this is really awesome what you're doing. I'd be glad to support it. Get Tina you guys' information. I have well over 1 million followers on social media. Be glad to shoot it out for you guys and get people to support this. It's nice meeting everybody. I'm sorry I have to go. I apologize. Tina's gonna speak for me now. So, all right, guys. I'm easy.
Dave, he's
I gotta
very
go.
busy. He has a very major event happening Sunday, and you
Drop
guys
some
will
of that
see
water
that
off.
after.
Definitely.
Oh, he's taking the water. What?
Drop one of those bottles of water
It's
off.
okay.
I got like 80 of them.
I have 80. Do I have the candles too?
Obviously,
You have 48 and you got it.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, you can go now. I got my gifts. I got my presents. I'll see you later. Those are family members. This is how it happens. We have to have partners, right? So they're having a major event on Sunday, and they're bringing together the high-end media and technology industry. All right, and so we're able to partner with these organizations and then turn around and take care of the things that actually matter to us. We want to do a reality show with the kids at Compton. We want to buy them new cameras. We want to get them more smart boards. In order to do that, they have to become relevant. Just saying we want to do it is not enough. So we decided, Kevin from Dakar Foundation, myself, and then with the help of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and Pitbull, we decided to get them in here and give them time so they can record their own content, get them into the soundstage, teach them how to edit on the Final Cut Pro, get them shooting themselves on the phone so they can talk about their process through reality, put them on the screens through distribution so they can bring their friends to see themselves in community. We believe that's going to activate them to want to keep doing more, learning more, being more, and we want to make sure that we support it. So we're excited about that. I mean, it looks simple, but we know that there's a lot of jobs. What Ryan is doing and listening to my yammering for hours and hours and hours at a time, and he has to make sure everything is. That's a job. It's a technical skill set. You know, from the photographer that's now walking in, he shoots the video clips, now he's editing, now he's uploading it to social. That's being distributed immediately with the hashtag Sidori Wong, who's actually my social mistress, and she's making sure it's everywhere. You know, just everywhere. Those are all jobs that these kids don't know that they can get paid for because it's now part of their normal lifestyles. They're shooting video, they're putting on YouTube, they're singing covers, they're sharing it with friends, and because of that, they're able to actually produce full content.
Yes.
Where we're sitting there going, okay, how do we do this?
Yeah.
How do we use this? I always have to ask my 16-year-old, Kai, what should I record this on? Well, you can do Kik, you can do Vidly, but I think you should do Instagram 7 minutes, 7 seconds because it's really quick and it aggregates fast. She tells me immediately, this is what, that's a job. I'm like, do you know that that's a job? The fact that she can jump on the computer, make me a video in high definition with a WeVideo platform and a Motive platform. She's the one who tells me that, and she can get it out there very quickly. She has a fashion blog that has 6,000 followers on Tumblr. I didn't even know that. I'm like, oh, she has a cute little fashion blog. Sweetie, how many people do you have following you? Hold on, Mom. 6,000. I'm like, oh, okay. Can we monetize that? You like to shop a lot. Can we monetize that? So, you know, I really encourage for us as adults to help the kids to understand the skill sets that they're already using. Sometimes it's not about something new. It's about that something that's underused or unidentified that can actually help that child make all the difference in the world for themselves. You say something, Mr.
Yeah, I want to reiterate what you're saying. I heard that as a child. I heard, you know, now. And for a while it didn't make sense. And I had a friend that broke it down for me so that I understood at my age when you say now. And he said, you can't change what happened yesterday.
That's right.
You don't have any control over that. What happened to you or other people, the loved ones that are telling you things. You don't have any control over tomorrow unless you live in the now.
That's right.
Unless you understand what's going on right now, right here today. You cannot control what's going to happen tomorrow, your future. You can't invest in it unless you make sure you're present. You're cognizant of what's happening right now. So live in the now. Now is the time to go to school.
Yep.
Right now.
Right now.
Or
you know,
don't
there's
have
a pressure against now, right? And I call it the tyranny of the urgent. Right?
Yes.
The tyranny of the urgent says, you got to put this off now because you got to do this now. I got to do this now. I got to do this now. And I found that's why we started everything with meditation. Just me spending time to meditate and stop everything sorts all the materials, all the little things that are happening. The one thing I love about now is that, or interrupting programs with now. That's what I call it. Because I feel like your mind is a program, and sometimes we have these viruses running. We need to interrupt those programs and extract the virus. And love does that each and every time. You ever notice how stunning it is when someone just stops and goes, hey, how are you? We see you. It's stunning. I don't care what your programming is. I don't know what you're going on. Sometimes people sort of back up, because they're not used to receiving it. And I know that, the basic proverbial learning biblically is love conquers all. It really does. It takes people out of the past, right? And being fearful of the present. That's what I really believe the adversary really is. I feel the adversary is this fake multimedia presentation that makes you live in the past, afraid of the future, so it consumes your now, that you can't act now. That's what I really believe. So I know that unintentionally, that if I can just stop and go, hey, oh my God, that's fabulous. You're great.
Gonna shock your day.
It does. People go, huh, and you're from New York. I'm from New York. And they used to call me Little Miss Sunshine. My family's Virginian. So even though I was in New York, my grandmother would say, don't let New York cramp your style, baby. We all Southern bred and we all not dirty South. And so we would stop. And no matter what, greet with a smile, greet with a smile, greet with a smile. And we would actually, she would look and say, did you see that person? Did you not greet them? Did you look at them in the eye? And do not ask someone how they're doing unless you're going to wait for a response. So I kept that with me. And people will say, how you doing? Keep going. I'm like, do you really want to hear the answer? Hold on. Do you want to hear the answer?
There you go.
Because we need to interrupt the patterns.
Yes.
We have to interrupt them and then stop them for a minute and go, it's okay, breathe. It's okay. Breathe. You're okay. And that's getting them in their body, in their now. If we can get people in there now, they will change their game. I always tell people, give me 5 seconds. We'll shift it all. 5 seconds of your time. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the wonderful Bernice. Bernice, I know grown folk gabbing. Sorry, girl. Love you, though. We're going to come back with Bernice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here on Tina Speaks in the grand finale of Social Media Week 2013. It's exciting.
Loud
Hello, hello, hello. This is Tina Michelle, and that was her again. That is Bernice performing live, and she was saying, "I'm laughing because people are going woo, woo, woo." The first time you hear that is great, but Sonia and I were laughing coming from families of African descent. They're a little spirited, and I'm sure they have it in every family. But I'll never forget the first time I did invite my family from North Carolina, because we have our Virginian family, as you know, Southern bred. And then we have our family from North Carolina, and we would invite them to the concerto, where I would be playing. And they would say, "The concerto. We're going to the concerto." So here I am playing, and they would start hollering at me. "Tina, go ahead, do that thing. Do that thing." And, most of my friends were like, "Oh, my gosh, how you take it?" I'm like, "That's my family. That's the spirit of my family."
That's something we all just get used to.
We get used to.
That's
They make it up with fried chicken and collard greens.
exactly part of the love.
And but that's the spirit of our families. And all of them have different spirits. I was raised in a very multicultural neighborhood. My girlfriend, Lisa Lewandowski, she was half very, very Italian and half very, very Polish. So getting used to her father, who was very, very, very Polish, who didn't speak. And he was older, so he sort of survived some things post-World War II, post-Holocaust that were very serious. But her mom was very Italian. It says, "Andiamo, vera, vera, vera." When we walked in, "Oh, mangia, mangia, mangia," eat. And so it was like walking to another country. Then my other girlfriend was Portuguese, and we had that experience. So I would see that at the end of the day, no matter how my family was maybe loud or did different things, everyone has it in their family.
Yes, we do.
We all have it in our family, no matter what your race, no matter what your culture. We have a way to communicate that's full of life and vibrance, and we need to embrace that instead of necessarily putting it to the side.
Love has no boundaries.
It has no boundaries. So I'm wrapping up the last 15 minutes here, and I see Big Dre has his finger up. Go ahead.
I just wanted to go back to what you was talking about before the break. We were talking about the past and stuff that happened in the past. Well, what we do is we bring our cars around to the kids in the schools so they can visualize and know how we build these cars on a positive level. So we can turn what the media makes as a negative.
It's the rebranding of America.
You know what I mean? So we let them know the positive. We make a negative into a positive and show them that with hard work and the social media and just, because you can make money off the social media. Like you said, putting your music out, doing this, doing that. We have car clubs in Japan. So with the social media, we just want to sit back and turn a negative
into a positive. And low riding has been looked at as a negative for so long. I'm from the East Coast. I never understood it until I met.
Well, we have an individuals car club in Queens.
I believe it, but I didn't get it. I would see like videos and stuff, and the cars would bounce. I'm like, "Is something wrong with the car?" I didn't get it, And so when I saw how they built the cars, everything that went into the cars, the science of it, I was like, "Wow, that's really clever." Considering this is a population, a lot of times that most people have tossed away from. When it comes to academic excellence or anything else, you can figure that out. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's translate it to something that's relevant. Let's make the science. That's why I keep saying the science makes sense. And I can't take credit for that phrase. I was blessed to work my last corporate gig, my last real job. I worked for a company called Bayer Diagnostica. Bayer Diagnostica is responsible for all the assays and the inventions and cures that Bayer, aspirin company, created. And I worked in Tarrytown, New York. I worked for a man named Dre Wagner, who probably was one of the most brilliant men you ever went to meet. He's German. Very hard to work with, and he was responsible for creating something called an immunocalibration machine. Guess what that did? It took your blood, spun it, and told you what disease was in it. That's a Bayer invention. Working for those type of companies, I really got a chance to sit in a room with 120 scientists from around the world, the most brilliant minds. And they invented things. That's all they did. Cures. All day. About 2% of them were accepted by the United States government.
Isn't that amazing?
The 98% were real cures for disease. They were accepted in Canada, they were accepted in Europe, but they were not accepted in the United States. So guess what I got to do? I got to call Senator Moynihan. That was not my original job. But I started doing it, and they found out, you're passionate about talking to the politicians? Said, we need to make this relevant. can the senator help us to get these assays, that's what they are before they become actual medicines, approved? Then I started to look at the kids. They don't even know that we're doing this work in Baird. You have some of the most unique individuals sitting there. This one guy, Moishe Schwartzberg, was great. He created, just to be able to do his work, he created 5 robots. So I'm sitting there watching these robots do the work. I was so fascinated by the work that I memorized this thing that they call an instrument, the immunocalibration machine, because I was just fascinated. And here I am, a young woman in the corporate game, was promoted from my fascination, not because of money. I was promoted from being an assistant secretary, because that's all I wanted to do at the time, was up the street from my house, to being project manager, to project lead, to public liaison and outreach coordinator for Baird Diagnostica. Then I got to work with Mae Jameson, who is the first female astronaut, black astronaut. And we created a campaign called Make Your Science Make Sense and toured the school systems with Mae. So that's where the real concept for it came from me, and that's where I began marketing and branding for causes, was because of Baird Diagnostica.
So Tina, the gentleman just gave an example. We all talk about innovation. I think this gentleman example is cure for innovation. So we can talk about innovation, but who's going to cure? I think this gentleman example is a true example. He can impact social life of students, and I think in our curriculum we should
And they're
encourage.
doing it.
No, we should encourage.
You gotta come Sunday to Upfest, and you can see the thousands that are impacted. I mean, thousands, right?
Thousands.
No
Yes,
exaggeration.
thousands. We had-
Thousands.
Do you understand that the last one that you guys did, my very conservative girlfriend said must have been somebody died. I said, why? She said, I saw all these motorcycles and cars go by me, and everybody was wearing orange. I said, those are my people. That's Upfest.
10,000
Made
people.
her stop on the 405 and go, wow. What was that? She said if she had time, she would have followed you guys to see what was going on.
And we want that.
That is the type of impact they're making in the community. The kids are going, I want to do that. I love it. So this Sunday, tell them where you're starting. And
In actuality, I just want to say that where we impact, where we land at, a park, and where we leave from, we actually have a decrease in crime 20 to 30%
in each
per
community.
month.
because of their presence.
Right.
Is that amazing?
And we
that-
will be. Go ahead.
That message needs to be somehow translated to this school system.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel the school should give 1 hour of impact curriculum to their
That's what we're
students.
working
Well,
on.
we all do that. Everybody stays in their lane.
Yeah.
That's why we work with Tina. But this Sunday, we'll be at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. We're going to end there.
Okay.
We leave from Magic Johnson Park. We have our ride, and then we end at the mall. And it is an open
There'll be a
invitation for everyone. There's a car show. I'll be there. Dre will be there. Lots of other people. So many people to talk to that you can just reach out and talk to, and it's just nice to see the public interacting the way they do with each other,
They've
and the
done a
kids get a
formidable
chance to
job.
see that. Yeah, we've done this.
What we call it is a day of edutainment.
Yes.
Yes.
Like Brother Tony Muhammad, Minister Tony Muhammad says, it's a day of education, entertainment.
That's right.
And what it is we have rappers, we have singers, we have
all has to be
poetess.
positive.
It has to
It
be.
has to be about Upfest and what we represent.
And up is united in peace.
Yes.
And the orange represents the sun rising.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
And
it's
we
a
want to
true
So
brand.
guess what I got to do? I got to bring them into the school.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly, and they're true example of engagement. People are doing research. How do we engage? So look at this example. It's interactive, it's engaging, it's productive, and it's result oriented.
That's right.
And what it brings at the end of the day is happiness.
Yes.
That's
And
fundamentally
see,
we
and that's
all
what it's about for me and for the people that I work with. We want results-focused transformational media. I got to be able to measure it. Otherwise, we're wasting time.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
You know, I don't want to waste time. There's kids dying. My mom died in 2010. My father almost died. He had 3 heart attacks. I almost died at that time. And I realized if I'm going to be on this planet, every minute must count.
Right.
Every minute must count. And I want to make sure, because you just never know. Life is but a vapor. You never know.
You know
There are
the,
people that at 45 years old, yes, I told my age, there are people I can't say they're here anymore. I started out in the music industry. Where's Tupac? Where's Biggie? Where's Whitney? You know, we did a show here, and I'm going to close with this and end with beautiful Bernice. We did a taping of a very famous family, and most of the family is pretty addicted, but they're very famous, and they wanted to kick off their reality show. with this show. And I said, that would be perfect, but I need you to do an IPA on every person that's in the family. Oh, no. We're just going to roll with the TV show. I said, if you're not going to do an individual personal assessment, that means you're not really trying to help them.
Exactly.
And I will not participate in that. I will not bury one more person because of the irresponsibility of this industry. I will not do it. I don't care what station it's on. And literally, we bowed out as a team. We decided to not participate because I could not bury another person.
And that's why I love what I do, Tina, because I get to be a change broker.
That's right. Change facilitators.
A change facilitator.
That's right.
And also a change broker. Because on my agency side, I get to fight the battle for us.
Yeah.
I get to tell them where we should enter.
While
I get
wearing
to tell
Hello
them.
Kitty bling, which
Yes.
I keep eyeballing. I'm like, ooh.
And you know, that is part of something that I always keep, because the outer stakeholders that I deal with, the youth, the people in my community, the people that are of different minority backgrounds, they need to see where I can connect to them,
That's
not just a mouthpiece.
That's right.
They need to know that I understand them. I am just like you. I have
critical.
been down the roads that you've traveled. I feel the same pains, but yet I don't let that stagnate me. I let that be a motivation so that I can be a change broker and a change facilitator. So when you're ready, when you've decided that moment that you want to enter in, you want to learn STEM, you want to find out who can
You
facilitate
see how
that.
important her job is to recruit kids for jobs, for their future, to make sure that they have the opportunity.
So the
It's
examples you
huge.
have, Tina, today are transformational success. I call them transformational success, and that's a life-changing event. If you can incorporate 1 hour of transformational success every week
Yes.
and have these people examples, that's a true engagement.
That's what we do every week here on the Tina Speaks Show. Every week, right?
Every
Transformational
week.
conversations
That's
from the
it.
inside out.
That's it.
Right? And I enjoy it. I enjoy it because that's how I met these guys. Dr. Evelyn Copeland, Frances Copeland, invited them to come into the studio. And she said, I got these people I want you to meet. When do you want to interview them to see if they can be interviewed? I said, do you think they're great? She's like, they're change makers. I'm like, then what is the question? Just bring them in. Just bring them in. We all, I do the exploratory on air. Why not? Right? Oh my God, I fell in love with this organization. All of them. And I was like, how important that is. Meanwhile, the kids are watching the hip hop videos. They're watching the, shooting and the killing and the violence. Meanwhile, they're standing up in the same communities, and they're not pimps, they're not dealers, they're positive, but yet they still, can hang just like anyone else when it comes to, the technology in the cars. It's still sexy, it's still hot, and the kids respect it, right? That's what's important. That's how we actually attract them into the conversation. That's what's important. So I want to thank everyone here today as we do a close. We're going to close with our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful independent artist of 2013, Bernice, live here on the grand finale, the closing moments of the grand finale of Social Media Week 2013. And we will, Vince, did you enjoy yourself?
Oh.
He's representing the organization
I'm
and was going to
thrilled.
be here for 30 minutes.
Addictive.
Thank you.
Come back.
It's just amazing that how our thoughts it's been sitting and and you just make this so beautifully engaging people.
It's so much
I love
fun.
conversations, and a powerful conversation which can transform people's life.
Yes. We have fun. It's fun.
Thank you for
Thank
hosting
you for
me.
being here.
Thank you.
For being here. I'm only going to be here for 30 minutes. I'm not going to say anything, and I don't need to be in the camera. I can be in the corner. Right.
Tina, we want to just thank you for being, like my mother say, a go-getter.
Thank you.
And then she told me, don't talk about it, be about it.
That's right.
And everybody at this table, Mystery, you, the young man, the young lady, this 19-year-old playing that guitar like
Yes,
it's
she
no
is. She's
like
saying
it's no other. I love it. You guys are the epitome of don't talk about it, be about it. And that's what I try to be about, pretty much.
Yes.
And we just want to thank you, and I want to thank Minister Tony Muhammad. And I want to thank the church, because you have some nice church members, church members that drive nice lowriders.
Yeah.
Like Pastor Faye, who rests in peace. You have the beautiful ladies of motorcycles.
Yes. I'm joining. She's going to join. She's going to teach me how to ride.
Ain't no,
so
and she's
ready.
the one to do it too. Just don't
And I'm
ride like her,
getting
because she
ordained
rides like a
Sunday,
bat
so
out
we got a
of.
church lady who's getting ordained.
And the women of low riding, we have some beautiful women out
I
there.
saw those cars out there. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, it was one of them pink.
Yeah, we have a pink Cadillac, a young lady named Bridget, and she's actually from Compton. She went to Compton High. Her name is Bridget.
Who was the lady with
Compton
the
Finest.
yellow
That's Tweety.
Cutlass?
That's
That is
Tweety.
Tweety.
That was the first car
That's
I
my
had, and
sister.
We were tricking it out until somebody stole it.
Love it. Love it.
Well, we had a great time with the kids, and I can't wait for February 2014 when we will reconvene and talk about what we got done between now and then. So most people are ready for events. But I tell people change is a process, not an event, but the
Right.
decision to change begins now. We're going to close out here with the Tina Speaks Show and Social Media Week 2013. Bernice, bring us home, girl. Bring us home.
You told me on a Sunday that it wasn't gonna work. And I tried to cry myself to sleep cause it was supposed to work. We sat next to the fire as the flame was burning out. I knew what you were thinking, but you say it aloud. Don't say you're sorry, cause I'm not even breaking. You're not worth the time that this is taking.